It's impossible to understand. How can such a thing happen? They know that children, women, and innocents are dying. They know it. Those people who press the buttons of those bombs, they know this. Do you have no heart? How would you drop that bomb? We just can't get it right. Why can't we get it? Because we think that they have a conscience like you and me. That's why we can't get it. I'm sure you've all seen the bombs that were dropped on those tents in Rafah. Probably you couldn't watch, you couldn't look at the videos. There's fire everywhere. A massacre took place. People are holding the dead bodies of their children in their arms. It's a terrible, horrible scene. We cannot even watch the videos here, but people are living those terrifying moments there. And of all the people watching these videos, who have the hardest time are the Palestinians who have relatives there. They look at the videos asking, is there someone I know among those burning bodies? They look at the faces and try to recognize their loved ones, praying, Inshallah, there is no one there that I know. They watch those scenes with these feelings. But don't be sad, don't be afraid, don't be demoralized. Because the Organization of Islamic Cooperation condemned what happened in yesterday's Rafah attack. Don't get upset. Why are you getting upset? Look, it was condemned. Now all these issues will be solved. We are extremely sad about what happened. But we are also sad about is the silence of these many sellout leaders of the Middle East. The silence of a huge part of the world. This makes us feel sad even more. The International Court of Justice says, stop the attacks. The court decisions are clear. But there's a spoiled child there. It doesn't stop, attacking again and again like a wild animal. If all the leaders of the Middle East together said, we are stopping the oil transfer, we are putting an embargo. I mean, all the countries around Israel in airspace and everything, if they impose an embargo, even the whole world joins this effort. If they say, enough is enough, stop killing children and women, innocent people are dying. If that spoiled child continues to say, I won't stop, I won't. And if they respond, okay, we're imposing an embargo on you as the entire world. What would happen in this case, do you know? Look, not even in 3 days, but maybe in just 1 day, you would see ceasefire. You would see Palestinian children start playing in the park. You would see those days. You would see the days without pain and sorrow. Look, just this, we will impose an embargo. No war, no rockets, no need for any other sanctions. Just an embargo and they would behave like a human in 1 day. But it doesn't happen. Why? Because it's not just Israel that is bad. There are sellout leaders, other plans, other benefits. That's why there is no unity. More or less, you know what happened. Israel wanted the Palestinians to move from north to south, and they did so. They changed their places 7-8 times and finally stopped at a camp. In Rafah, the area where Israel told them to stay, while people were sleeping, their tents were turned into a scene of fire. It is said that 8 rockets hit the area, and the scenes are terrible. I don't want to go into too much detail because it might upset you. 45 of our Palestinian brothers and sisters became martyrs. The number of injured is increasing, and the number of dead is also constantly rising. How strange, isn't it? They say, go south is the safe zone. Okay, they went to the safe zone, and there you start bombing civilians, innocent people. Just like Hitler directing people to a certain place and committing genocide there, right? It looks very similar. Like gathering people in gas chambers, you gather people in a specific area, you say that it's a safe zone. The international community also says it's a safe zone, that in the very place you call the safe zone, where those innocent people gathered, you start killing them. What happened? Did the rockets hit by mistake? 8 rockets. Were they all launched by mistake? A country like Israel with such advanced technology, a country that is capable of bombing with precision, did they do this by mistake? No. At first they were explaining this as Israel is defending itself. But now the massacre has grown so much and it started to become a genocide that it cannot be explained like that anymore. Look at the numbers. 15,239 children have died. 10,093 women have died. In total, 35,984 people have become martyrs. There are 8,643 injured and countless unimaginable traumas. The ones who didn't die actually died too. I say unimaginable traumas. Why? Because everyone you know has died. Can you live with that trauma? Can you be happy after all this? I came across a video of a child. Let's watch it together.
فيصل أحمد الخالد. كم عمرك؟ 5 سنين. أمي كانت حامل، طخوا أمي ببطنها، كانت حامل بالشهر السابع.
وأبوك وين كان؟
أبوي كان نايم.
ولما صحي؟
هو مات هو وأمي أسبوع واحد.
في نفس اليوم؟ قدامك أنت شفت؟
قدام.
شو صار قدامك؟
لما إحنا طلعنا على الممر جابوهم وطخوهم قدام.
Inshallah, his entire family has gone to heaven. Look what the child has become. This is not just something to be taken lightly. The child speaks with no expression on his face. At this point, his emotions have completely shut down. Now, is this child alive? Is he surviving? Is he okay? The cry of the oppressed will come out so strongly. Do some Muslims who have authority but did nothing to stop it think that We prayed, we fasted, and here's heaven for us. Our religion is not like that. Have you ever studied the life of our Prophet ﷺ? Look at how compassionate our Prophet ﷺ was in his life. He would visit the house of a child whose birth had died to offer condolences. Our religion is not just about praying and fasting. Yes, there are obligatory and essential practices, but you cannot just say, I prayed and fasted. Okay, I will do whatever I want and oppress people. You cannot do this. In the Middle East, there are so many people, so many leaders, so many influential people. Even Guardiola refuses to shake hands with an Israeli man. He shows his reaction and makes a statement. Well, do these people think like this? We would lose our position. Let's not put ourselves in danger. Brother, you are already dead. What change would it make if Israel assassinates or kills you? What would be the difference? You are already dead. Like, there are animals in the streets. You see dogs, you see cats. They are much more valuable than you. You are dead, below the level of animals. A new level has been invented. You are already at that level. What difference does it make if you live or not? Years later, when your grandchildren ask you, what did you do in those times, Grandpa? There was a genocide, something called the Palestinian genocide. Hospitals were bombed. Thousands of children died. What did you do at that time? Did you take an active role to stop it? Will you be able to say yes? Or will you say, I could have stopped that genocide or written something about it. I could have taken a stand, but I didn't. I was afraid. I was scared like a coward. I was afraid that I would lose my position or my financial benefits. Or let's take another group of people. Those who remain silent in this situation. Yes, they don't have authority, but people should show which side they take, right? Among the people who are celebrities, there are many silent ones too. I mean, you have an audience, you have followers. Because we believe that this issue will be resolved like this. It will be done by creating serious public pressure, right? Look at how strong the current public opinion is compared to before. Much stronger than on October the 7th. When stronger public opinion was formed, the leaders governing America started to backtrack. Now they are saying things like, we are warning Israel, if you continue like this, we will not provide bombs for you. They are saying these things. Why? To not lose the election. All those leaders care about are their benefits, money, and votes. Americans are saying, we won't vote for you because with our taxes, you support Israel and kill Palestinians. You're staining our hands with blood. With the taxes you collect from us, you're bombing people and children. When they said all this, did you see how the leaders began to backtrack? So at least what we can do is to create public opinion, to create serious pressure. But how sad and pathetic it is when people with such large followings, those who are so sensitive that they tweet when a dog dies, who tweet when a cat dies and show concern, say nothing when thousands of children die in Palestine. I mean, aren't these things going to be asked in the hereafter? Are we just going to be responsible for our salat and fasting? It will not just be Netanyahu who will be judged in the hereafter. It will not just be the oppressors. Those who consent to persecution will also be judged. It's not just about ibadah. If you think like this, you have completely misunderstood this issue, this religion. There's also this group of people who say that these issues are none of my business. I've seen such surveys asking, what do you think about what's going on in Israel? What do you think about what's going on in Palestine? There are people who say, this issue is none of my business. I don't care. There are those who say, I'm neutral on this issue. By the way, the number of people who support Israel has gone down a lot because the oppression has now become extremely big and horrible. After seeing all this, how can you be neutral? How can you not care? Does the religion of the child matter to you? Look, one child died there, 5 children died, 10 children died, 1,000 children died, 15,000 children died. Don't you care? When they grow up to be Muslims, they wear thobes or headscarves. Maybe you don't like them, you hate them. Okay, don't support those people, fine. You can be an atheist, you can be an agnostic, you can be a Muslim, whatever religion you are. If as a human being, the death of children doesn't bother your conscience, you may not be aware of it, but you're rotten on the inside. You have become a slave to your comfort and benefits. If there's nothing for you in something, you don't say a word. I also understand that at the beginning, when the events of October 7th broke out, they presented it saying that it's all about Hamas. These are monsters, Israel has the right to defend itself, and so on and so forth. They presented it in such a way that one might not have understood the issue at first. He or she might be thinking that since I couldn't say anything at the time, I'm not saying anything now as well. But now the issue is very clear, so we need to leave all our prejudices behind and unite seriously on this issue and create a public opinion. If you want to be able to say to your grandchildren, I chose the right side, there's a genocide going on right now. Choose your side, brother. Choose your side, sister. Here, I want to address especially my brothers and sisters in humanity who are American citizens. Do you realize that without your support, Israel cannot kill these children, these innocent Palestinians? I mean, you make a purchase, which also includes tax, and the people in charge of America take that tax money and say, we support Israel. The numbers are there. They are giving billions of dollars, not just small aids. If America opposes, this genocide will end. Yes, your intentions might be good. You might not want to cause this to happen, but at the end of the day, this couldn't have been done without your taxes. Why am I giving this speech? You must already be feeling guilty inside. Yes, you may be thinking, my intentions are pure. I have no bad intentions, so what can I do? Create a public opinion. Say, we don't support this genocide. Write, share, tell people around you. Vote accordingly when the election time comes. These are the things you can do. We asked Sheikh Omar Suleiman, who lives in the US. He's Palestinian. His taxes are used for this as well. We said, how do you feel knowing that this genocide is being committed with your tax dollars? He said, I feel guilty. Yes, his intentions are not bad, of course, but in the end, that money goes there. Look at these numbers. 15,239 children have died. This is just the death toll in the recent events. You know, just after October 7, I'm not even talking about the persecution that has been going on for years before that. A total of 35,000 people, a stadium full of people have gone under the ground in the last 8 months because of these oppressors. You know, something happened on October the 7th. Then Israel created an uproar and got world's public opinion behind it. They made up things like, our children were decapitated, women were raped, their breasts were cut off. People believed them, but no evidence was found. Then those who said that they saw it confessed, saying that, yes, we didn't see the children's heads being cut off actually. If you haven't watched the videos from Rafah, don't. I watched a little bit. For those who have a sensitive heart, don't listen to what I'm about to say. Fast forward 15 seconds. There was a man hugging a burned child. You can see the child's bones, and the child had no head. The man was going left and right. He didn't know what he was doing. I saw a body like a charcoal, with arms torn off, people who lost their eyes, people dying. Now, imagine the opposite scenario. Palestine is attacking Israel and has killed 35,000 innocent people. 10,000 women are killed by the Palestinian side and 15,000 Israeli children are killed. 15,000 Israeli children. Imagine such a scenario. On October 7, they took a few incidents and got the world public opinion behind them. Now imagine the opposite. Did you hear what happened? An Israeli child is beheaded. They burned the place down. Did you hear that Palestine bombed Israel's hospitals? They told Israelis to go south and forced 2 million people out of their homes. All the Israelis went south and then they started bombing their tents with rockets. If such a thing happened, would the world public opinion like this? They are giving a little support to Palestine now. In that imaginary scenario, would they give a little support to Israel, or would they say, take out your nuclear bombs and drop all these bombs on the Palestinians and show no mercy? They would do this bombing and people would watch these images calmly, without any tears. How interesting. There's a hadith of our Prophet ﷺ. He says, whoever of you sees an evil, let him change it with his hand. And if he is not able to do so, then let him change it with his tongue. And if he is not able to do so, then with his heart. And that is the weakest of faith. Let's take a stand. Let's show our side and do whatever we can. If you ask, what will be the end of Israel? Will these people be judged? I say, they will definitely be judged. Will it happen in this world? I think so. But since the age of these people is 40-50 now, 40-50 years later, they will all be under the ground. These oppressors and those who supported oppression and those who could have prevented it but didn't, don't worry. Be 100% sure that after 50 years, these people will be judged by Allah's justice. They will be judged in such a way, they will be punished in such a way that the atrocities they have committed throughout their lives will be nothing compared to the punishment they will receive. So don't worry. Be 100% sure that in 40, 50 years, maybe in 20 years, these people will see the justice of Allah. The rights of the oppressed will be taken. There are 35,000 martyrs. Yes, we feel sorry for those children that died. But that child now says, I couldn't find food to eat in the world. I was thirsty. How beautiful it is here in paradise now. This is what our belief in Allah, the hereafter, and the Quran tells us. Right now, these 15,239 children are very happy. Yes, they are very happy. 10,000 women, 35,000 martyrs. Their pain is over. But those who are left behind are in pain. So we should be the ones to heal them, brother, sister. And what will be the fate of Israel? Will this oppression really end one day? Our Lord has given the answer to these questions between the 4th and the 5th ayah of Surah Al-Isra. The ayat say that the Jews caused corruption on the earth twice, and as a result of these, they were occupied twice. Their cities were destroyed and they were exiled. The first one was by the Babylonians in 598 BC, and the other one was by the Romans in 70 AD. And what is the relevance of these events for today? Allah says in the ayah addressing the sons of Israel, perhaps your Lord will have mercy on you, but if you return, we will return. Meaning, if you return to sin, we will return to punishment. He says, you will experience the same thing as you have experienced in the past. As you know, oppression doesn't end when it remains constant. It ends when it increases. When it increases, conscience of the people are disturbed. When it increases, people react, just like what is happening today. A public opinion is formed, a common conscience is formed, and that is how the persecution ends. There have been many oppressors on earth throughout history, and each time the fate of the oppressors has always been the same. Inshallah, it will be the same this time too. Let us do our part. Let us show our side. May Allah destroy all these oppressors, inshallah.